Las Vegas, Sin City, the entertainment capital of the world. A city visited by more than 40 million people each year, each person arriving with high hopes and a yearning to be part of the glitz, the glamour, the energy, and the chance to win it big. My name is Tony, and this is my sister Veronica. We are both native Nevadans, born and raised here in Las Vegas. Allow us to take you on a journey through Las Vegas, both past and present. We give you the lowdown on Vegas culture, events, tourism, and tips to get lady luck on your side. So just sit back and relax and enjoy, because we are bringing Las Vegas to the comfort of your home. Oh man, my first ever video. What do I talk about? Man, I'm so not used to this. I know. I could do a video on the Bellagio fountains. Yeah, I could do a video on the Bellagio fountains, and no. There's like a whole ton of videos like that out there. I got to be more original. All right, now come on, Tony. Think, Tony. Okay. How about this? The buffet in the MGM Grand Hotel. Yeah. The buffet. I could talk about the mashed potatoes and the roast beef, and no. It's just too boring. I need something more interesting. I need something with more flash, something with more pizzazz. Okay. How about the Excalibur Hotel? Yeah, I could talk about the castle and the knights and with their swords and on their horses, and no, it's just not going to work. Just not going to work. Man, who am I kidding? I've never done a video like this before. I don't even know where to begin. Begin. That's it. I will talk about where it began. Now that's something most people don't know about. Yeah, we'll go back to the beginning. What's up, everybody? This is your man Tony, and welcome to What Up Vegas, where we keep you in the know of everything Vegas related. We're really excited as this is our first official video. And as you saw in the intro there, it took us some time to decide what we would cover in our first ever vlog. But as we thought it through, the topic became apparently clear. Since this video officially kicks off our channel, we thought it'd only be appropriate to show the world the humble beginnings of our now modern and cosmopolitan city. Those of us who grew up here in Vegas have a pretty firm grasp of where our town comes from. But to most outsiders, Las Vegas is just a fun place to gamble, come see a show, take in the nightlife, and enjoy some king crab legs at one of the many buffets here in town. Yet Vegas is more than just cheap buffets and slot machines. Las Vegas has a pretty colorful past, and that past has helped shape the town into what it is today. We will show you how Vegas was born and what it was like back in the day. We will start our journey at the Main Street Station Hotel, Brewery, and Casino, which was very close to where the old train depot used to be, and I'll explain the significance of that in a little bit. And ultimately, we will end up on Fremont Street, or what is now called the Fremont Street Experience. Now, to be completely accurate, the old train depot stood where the Plaza Hotel now stands. But we felt it was more important to cover the Main Street Station at this point in time because of its easy access and its proximity to the 95 freeway. So let's start our journey and go back to what is arguably the beginning of Las Vegas.
So we're starting out where everything began in downtown Las Vegas. So right now we're over at the Main Street Station Hotel and Casino, and we're standing right next to the Church Street Station Railroad car.
Now before we begin our tour of the hotel, let's just talk a little bit about the history of the land that we're standing on. First, as you might have figured out by now, Main Street Station gets its name from the street that it's on, Main Street. It wasn't always called Main Street Station though. In fact, the hotel has gone through a number of names, including the Holiday Park Hotel and Rosie O'Grady's. But what is especially important about this piece of land that we're standing on is that it is the location where the first land auction was held by the LA and Salt Lake Railroad. Had this 63-acre land auction not taken place, there would probably be no Las Vegas, or at least no Las Vegas as we know it today. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself right now. To understand Vegas, we have to go back a little further. So let's start our journey and go back to what is arguably the beginning of Las Vegas. That would take us back to the early 1800s. In 1829, early Mexican and Spanish traders first recorded their visits here. One man in particular, by the name of Antonio Armijo, is of particular interest. Antonio was a Spanish trader, and in 1829 he was leading a caravan on what is now known as the Old Spanish Trail. This is not to be confused with the Oregon Trail, which is further north. The main leg of the Old Spanish Trail spanned from southern Colorado, through Utah, through Nevada, or more specifically Las Vegas, and ultimately ended up in what is now modern-day Los Angeles. Now, upon seeing the springs and flowing grasses all around them, the Spanish explorer aptly called the area Las Vegas. Las Vegas in Spanish meaning the meadows. Obviously, it was a name that stuck in spite of efforts by succeeding settlers to call it something different. Now, just a decade later, another notable character would place his stamp on the Las Vegas Valley. That man was none other than John C. Fremont. For those of you who slept through history class, John C. Fremont, also known as the Pathfinder, was an explorer to whom much of the production of the maps and topography of the western United States is credited to. He was also notably the governor of the Arizona Territory and as a military officer in the Union Army. As a matter of fact, he appointed Ulysses S. Grant to arguably his first command post in the Union Army. Thanks to Fremont's expeditions to the west, and specifically his expedition here to the Las Vegas Valley, Las Vegas's location and more importantly its aqua springs were revealed to the outside world. This would prove important as the water from the springs would be invaluable for many eastern U.S. migrants making their way to the west coast. Now, we're not going to spend much time talking about the Mormon influence during the latter part of the 19th and early part of the 20th centuries. That'll be covered in a different video. Just keep in mind that the Latter-day Saints played a significant part in the evolution of our town. But really, two important dates need to be mentioned here. First, in 1905, the Salt Lake and LA railroads built a watering stop and train depot in the middle of the Las Vegas desert. Now, do you remember earlier in the video when I told you the train station played an important part in our city's history? Well, here's why. The train station made it more practical to build a more permanent and sustainable community here in the valley. Not long after the construction of the train depot, folks started trickling in. Also, the railroads played another important part. In 1911, the railroads would auction off some 63 acres of land. For the first time, private ownership of the land would be in the hands of many rather than the sole ownership, more or less, of one entity, mainly the railroads. With those collective plots of land, a permanent settlement would form, and that 63-acre settlement would ultimately become what is now known as downtown Las Vegas. Now, of course, Las Vegas history doesn't start and stop in the downtown area. In fact, the land south of downtown on Las Vegas Boulevard would play a more pivotal role in transforming our city into the tourist mecca it is today. And yes, for those of you who guessed it, I am referring to the Las Vegas Strip, which has its own history. But right now, we're just going to stick to talking about the beginning of Vegas. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not forget Vegas wouldn't be Vegas without gaming. Now, Vegas always had gambling, even when the state cast a disapproving eye on it. But gaming didn't come about statewide until 1931. But you better believe during the days of the Wild West, Vegas always had its poker and blackjack tables. I guess in that sense, Vegas was ahead of the curve and uniquely positioned to take advantage of the now legal gaming profession. In another video, we'll delve more into the history of Vegas gaming and some of the mysterious characters it attracted. But right now, let's get back to the year of 2020 and our tour of the Main Street Station Hotel, Brewery, and Casino.
Alright, so we're about to go inside the Main Street Station here. Got to be a little careful because a lot of times the security does not like when you film on the casino floor. But we do want to get some footage of that because there's a certain theming to this hotel that's real unique. It sort of has like this early 1900s train station look, for lack of a better way of describing it. Looks a little antiquated, but real nice casino. They keep it real clean. It's probably a little cheaper than some of the casinos there on Fremont Street. You're a little off Fremont Street, but you're definitely maybe a 5-minute walk away. Very, very close. So we're going to go inside here and show you guys a little bit of the casino, okay? Come on.
Now there are multiple entrances to get into the hotel, but we are headed toward the lobby entrance. Make sure you pick up a hotel guide when you check in. You will find that there are many collectibles and artifacts in different places around the property. Now I did give a brief introduction about the history of Main Street Station, but before we go inside, I think I would be remiss if I didn't mention something about owners Bob Snow and Major Riddle. Now we call the casino Main Street Station Hotel, Brewery, and Casino today, but the property has changed hands many times in the last 40 plus years. Today the property is owned by Boyd Gaming, but Major Riddle, and yes that is his real name, first owned and operated the property. He was a character and had a hand in many other Vegas casinos besides this one. We will talk about him more when we get inside. Former owner Bob Snow, however, needs some more immediate introduction. Bob Snow owned and operated the hotel in 1991. Now his foray into the gaming business didn't last long. The hotel was only open for less than a year. However, his version of the hotel, which was dubbed Rosie O'Grady's, was described more as like a museum than a casino. Reason being, if you look around, you will see many collectibles and memorabilia peppered around the property.
Alright, I just had to show you this. If you take a look here, if you follow me down, we got a burger stand. There's something unique about it. Take a look down here. Look towards the bottom. What you have are bike pedals. See those bike pedals? You can see some of them, some of the chains are still intact. So the whole vehicle, it moves via the bike pedals here. Not something I've ever seen before, but definitely something worth noting.
Something else you might have noticed was the name of Church Street Station on the rail car when Veronica cued us in. Church Street Station refers to a property Bob Snow once owned in Orlando, Florida. Mr. Snow was instrumental in revitalizing downtown Orlando. That property got its name from the train station that serviced the area. Hence, Snow named his property the Church Street Station. Now to get into the lobby entrance, we have to pass the parking area where the Church Street Station streetcar is located. So you'll get another glance at that. It must be stressed, however, Mr. Snow's influence on the theming of the hotel was important, as he was an avid collector of collectibles. Most of the collectibles and antiques you find in the hotel, you can attribute to his influence.
In 1978, this casino, Main Street Station, was built by Major Riddle. At the time it was called the Holiday International. It wasn't his first rodeo in the gambling business.
Now Major Riddle has deep roots here in Las Vegas, starting going way back to 1956 with the Dunes. And of course here with the Main Street Station in 1978. Now Mr. Riddle has a past, an alleged past, of course. His first casino, the Dunes, was allegedly built with Teamster funds. He dated Virginia Hill, who, as you may know, was Bugsy Siegel's girlfriend, and he allegedly had mob ties, but we're not implying anything here.
Now if you look around the room, there's a few items that stand out, especially the apothecary cabinets, which held medicines at one point, and right over there.
Doors from the Kuwait National Bank. See, real heavy. Sorry, it's all right.
Now we're going to show you where some of the more prominent memorabilia sits, but we will only show you a small fraction. Much of the fun is just getting a map and going around and looking for all the items, kind of like a little scavenger hunt. But now we're coming up on the 777 Restaurant and Brewery, and as the name of the casino implies, there is a brewery here in the casino. We will stop in there and at the end of the video get a bite to eat, so you'll be able to see firsthand the ambiance and what the food is like. But before we do that, we want to show you around the casino floor. The second floor also contains a few interesting artifacts, so we'll check that out as well. But before we do, if you look up, you will see different chandeliers from various places. The ones above us happen to be from the Coca-Cola building in Austin, Texas. Now we're going to make our way to a very unlikely spot for a particular item. In the men's restroom there is something very interesting, but we think we're going to make you wait until the very end of the video. But don't worry, it's nothing obscene or inappropriate, so stay tuned for that.
There we go, going up to the second floor. You can see the casino floor there. Hopefully security didn't give us a hard time. Have a better view when get to the top here. This is a hallway or gateway to the California Hotel. We're not going to go over there right now. We just want to get Main Street Station. Beautiful casino. Look down there's the whole casino gaming floor. Beautiful. One thing that you'll notice, if you just explore a little bit, you'll see a lot of antiques. The casino has changed a lot since Major Riddle had owned the casino. Of course, now it's called Main Street Station. And one thing that Boyd Gaming has done is they have included a lot of antiques throughout the casino. So if you kind of look around me, you'll see everything from pool tables to mirrors, antique mirrors, to desks. You know, even the railing looks like it might have come out of some kind of old railway station. So that's definitely something that you want to take a look for when you're here at the Main Street Station. A lot of antiques. Definitely looks like an older school. Now, like we said earlier, if you just take a look around the casino, you'll see a lot of antiques. We wanted to show you this. Let's come into the elevator. This is the elevator going from the second floor down to the first floor. If you look straight across from me here, you'll see an antique table with an antique vase on it. And watch what happens as we go down. You can actually see the outside. You can see the California Hotel. You can see Binion's from here. But watch what happens as we drop. We drop down right now. You can start to see that we're changing levels. And not only the design of the wall changes, but here you go, more antiques. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled as you go around the Main Street Station here. Well guys, we're here in the 777 getting ready to wind down the night. Ordered a margarita. Veronica ordered a beer. What is it? Hefeweizen. So she's getting a beer, I'm getting a margarita. Just to show you guys here, it's a big brewery here in the Main Street Station. I don't know if you can see behind me, but let me just stand up here real quick. Beautiful. Also going to get an appetizer. We'll tell you guys how it is. Everything looks real good here. Another bar behind us. This one's not in use. See what other, see if they'll bring us our food and our drinks here. Alright guys, we're going to close it down here. We got ourselves a margarita and a beer. So I'm just waiting for our appetizer. So hopefully we'll see you in the next video here. We're going to do Fremont Street next, so stay tuned for that.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Cheers. Salud. This is the men's room. Piece of the Berlin Wall there. I think they were trying to make a little bit of a statement when they put it in here. Yeah, let's not spend too much time in here.